Hey, Joe Latenda here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install a stair nose. Now, I'm going to show you also what the difference is between a flush mount stair nose and an overlapping stair nose, so you can decide which one you need. But first, I want to talk to you about on my website, so that's how you do that.com. You can go down and click on the link below this video to find that. But you can see here that I have some guides that you can go and check out that'll help walk you through your installation. Whether you're just researching, you can go and see what it's going to take to do a plank installation, or if you're ready to start, you can click on that section. Or if you're already inside or in the middle of an installation and you need some help, you can click on that section right there. If you scroll down the page a little bit here, you can see that you'll find the tools that I use when I'm installing plank. You can go and click on those, find out where you can get them. And with that, now when you're installing a floating floor and you're coming to a place where stairs are going to go down, you need to use an overlapping stair nose. Now, there's a big confusion out there of why you can't use the flush mount. Now, the flush mount is where the plank is even with that stair nose. You don't want that kind when you're installing to the edge where stairs go down. You need to use an overlapping stair nose. And the reason why is because that floor needs to move back and forth. If you put a flush mount stair nose there, then the floor is not going to be able to move. It'll be stuck to that stair nose, or the floor is going to move away from that stair nose. It's going to leave a gap. Now, you want the overlapping stair nose, which overlaps the edge of that plank just slightly, where you do leave an expansion gap underneath that lip that overlaps the plank. Now, I know some people think, oh, well, that's going to cause a trip hazard. It's not. It's not. I mean, I would love to tell you to use an over or a flush mount stair nose in this situation, but I just wouldn't do it. So, a flush mount stair nose is used for the stairs. And the reason why you can use a flush mount stair nose there is because you're going to be gluing your plank down to the tread, so it's not going to move. And then you glue and nail the stair nose to the stair also, and so that's where you are able to use that flush mount stair nose. So anyway, in this video I'm going to go through that, explain it a little bit to you. So here, let's watch. Alright, so I'm going to be preparing this right now for a stair nose. This is a stair nose. It's an overlapping stair nose. You can see how it has this thinner part. It's thicker here and then thinner here. This part right here is what overlaps over the plank. Now with the floating floor, you need to have an overlapping stair nose. You can buy a flush mount stair nose if you're going to use this on the stair, where you would use this on a stair like this. Because when you put your plank down on the stair, you're going to glue that. So it's not going to move, where this needs to move. So you have to use an overlapping stair nose here. So another thing that comes with this stair nose, and a lot of the stair noses, are these kind of wedges. So these are what we'd use to build this stair nose up. So this is probably a multi-purpose stair nose that they use for several different thicknesses of flooring, and so for them to not have 3 different size stair noses, they sell these wedges. And so that's what those are. We'll talk more about those in a minute.
Okay, so I want to show you here real quick how you need to prep this. You can see that this riser is flush. It has no lip on it whatsoever, and that's what you need to have before you use any kind of stair nose with a floating floor. You need to have that riser flat. You can see here, like in this example on this stair, the nose sticks out from the riser. Well, that needs to be cut off, and you can use that, or you can use a jigsaw or an oscillating saw to do this. It just needs to be flush.
Okay, I'm going to jump in here one more time. Now, I just showed you and talked to you about how you need to cut that riser flush when you use that stair nose. And that is because the lip on that stair nose is so small, it only covers just a little bit. And you need to have that flush with the riser because it does have that nose on it, and it's not going to cover that existing nose if you don't cut it flush. Now, if you're not doing anything with your stairs on plank, sometimes what happens if you don't have carpet on that riser that you can either replace, if you have some left over from your original installation, you can just rip off the old and put a new piece on to cover what is going to now show, because you have to cut that wood off. The subfloor is what's going to be sticking out more than likely on in your situation. So you can do that where, like I said, you replace that carpet, or you can replace, or you can put a piece of veneer, even an 1/8 inch veneer, finish it off with something that matches the plank. If you don't have extra carpet there, or if you have wood treads on your stairs already, finish that off. You can go to Home Depot, Menards, Lowe's, anywhere, any lumber yard, and buy some 1/8 inch veneer and stain that to look just like your floor, and you can cover that first riser so that you don't have an ugly looking situation there where you can see the subfloor. So there's some things that you can do to dress up that riser if you're not going to be doing something with your stairs, whether you're recarpeting them or putting a new plank, or you're going to install plank on your stairs. So there's just a little tidbit for you. I get asked this question all the time on how you can fix that. So there you go. Here, let's watch. Basically what I'm trying to do is the same thing with all other transitions, is I want to measure this, and then I want to mark the floor like what I did here. So you can see I got this line. And so now what's going to happen here, as you can see, if I have my stair nose wrapping around that, then this goes to there. So now I'm going to cut the plank right to that line, and that's going to give me the plank right in this lip here, so that it allows to an expansion joint. So how this works is the plank slides under and gets covered. And so like I said, I have to build this up, because if I put that flat down right now, this won't slide under. With these wedges, it slides under. And so right now, before we put the stair nose on, I'm going to make sure that I cut all my plank to this line. Okay, so we're at the point now where we're ready to do this transition. Now, I like to do stair noses with glue and make them really solid, because you walk on them a lot. We have these shims I showed you. And so I want to glue each one of these down on top of each other, and then I'll run another bead of glue to glue this too. And I'm also going to use a nail gun. So all I'm going to do is just run a little bit of glue here, nothing too thick. Just spread it out. It doesn't have to be too thick, like I said, because this spreads. I mean, I'll even just spread it with my finger a little. I usually don't do that, but I'm going to get it a little flat. You can use a little trowel. I'm just looking for this really thin strip. And then I just press this down into the glue. And now I'm going to repeat that process one more time. A small bead. PL 400 or the good premium 4x stuff. This is something that you can also get. This you get from a specialty store. I'll put a link below for it. Again, I'm just going to spread it a little bit with my finger, mainly because I don't have anything else right this second. Get this to stick to the other one. Now we're going to get to the stair nose. Now the stair nose, I'm going to put a nice bead a little bit bigger all the way across. Now you don't want this to squirt out, so again you can spread this. Yeah, usually I use my tuck knife for something like this, but spread it out a little bit so it's not going to squirt too bad. I'll let you take a shot in here too. Okay, so now I'm just going to take the stair nose and I'm going to put this in and press down nice and tight. And now, like I said, I like to throw a few brad nails in. You don't have to if you don't want to. so that you don't have nail marks, but I personally like to do it just to give it a little more grab and push down nice and hard. So just a few every 6 to 8 inches. Okay, so that's how I like to install stair nose. Now you don't want to step on this for at least 12 hours. Like tomorrow morning or the next day, you can step on it, but I like to give it at least overnight for it to set nicely. Okay, so you can see how easy it is to install a stair nose when you have the right information. Now I know that some of you probably have a different type of stair nose, so look for some of my other videos that I'm going to be making if they're not already out there on different types of stair noses. Otherwise, shoot me a question. We'll get you going on the right path with what your situation is. I want to also talk to you about these shims that came with these stair nose. Now, if you don't have those shims with your stair nose, don't worry about it. You can just use normal wood shims. You can just stack them so that they're flat. If you stack the two bevels, however that would go, together, they'll come together nice and flat. You can cut them to size so they slide right underneath there. Pile up your PL 400 or whatever it is that you're going to use a little taller than what I showed. That stuff, when it dries, it's rock solid. It's going to act as the subfloor. So you really have a lot of forgiveness with this when you're using PL 400. It's just to be able to get that stair nose in position with those shims so that it doesn't move while it's curing is the key thing. Now, I want to talk to you about Laminate University. You can go check that out. I have lots of videos there that will walk you through your entire installation. There's a area there where you can ask questions right there on the site. I also have a screencast where if you send me your drawing, I'll walk you through your entire installation on where to start, plank direction. I'll show you some of the problem areas that I think that you are going to need to focus on, and I'll tell you the videos. I'll point out which videos you need to watch and where you can find them. So again, check out Laminate University. I'm Joe the Tender. God bless all of you. Have a great day.